All right, everyone, welcome into another episode of the Spoiler Alert podcast. Shorter? We say that a lot. We're like, oh, this episode will be shorter. This episode will be longer. And then they always end up the same length. So I'm not even going to say it. But we don't have a lot to talk about, is what I will say. The length
Depends
of
on
the
how much
episode,
we yap.
yeah, exactly. Length of the episode probably ends up the same because we talk a lot of shit. But here we are, back again.
Back again.
A handful of movies coming out. Ty and I also saw 4 movies that we'll talk about that neither one of us saw the same movie. So I got your Cordially Invited, a new Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon film, and The Gorge, Apple TV new film with Miles Teller and Foxface. What?
Anya Taylor-Joy?
Anya Taylor-Joy, thank you.
Okay,
She
that's what I
was
thought.
Foxface, right, in The Hunger Games? Am I wrong?
I thought you just meant she looked like a fox because she kind of does have that weird, like her face like pointy or something.
Yeah. And that's why I think they casted her as that. I gotta validate that. That might not be true.
I just know she's Queen's Gambit. She's Paul Atreides' sister.
Okay, it's not true. I made that up.
Furiosa.
She would have been perfect for that.
Oh, for sure.
Anyways, saw The Gorge, and then Ty, you saw Heart Eyes, which not a lot of talk about that film, but I did want to see it. It popped up on my IMDb, and I'm like,
Quite
that
a
sounds
surprise.
interesting.
Quite a surprise, actually.
And then probably the biggest movie of the week, Captain America: The Winter Soldier Part 8.
Yeah, that's what they should have just called it. They should have just stuck to the real title that was, or the first title, New World Order. That's such a badass name.
Yeah,
And they changed it. They're like, that's too real. That's too fucking real for this.
yeah, we're Disney now.
Yeah.
Well, Ty, let's hop into the movies that are coming out this week. The biggest and most exciting one that is coming out is The Monkey. Sick name to start with. When twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. So this is actually a Stephen King novel, or was it a novel? Might have been a short story. Either way, Stephen King wrote it.
Like that, yeah.
And then Osgood Perkins did the screenplay and is directing it, starring Theo James, which you'll recognize from a handful of things, but The Gentleman on Netflix is the thing I think he's best in.
Yeah, still on my list for sure. Definitely going to watch it.
It's solid. Has pretty much nothing to do with the Gentleman movie with McConaughey.
Okay.
But very good. So good.
Okay, sweet.
And then Elijah Wood. You know, coming in here, old Frodo coming in to steal the
he was.
Yeah, he's like the 5th person listed here. He's the other brother.
Shit.
Or no, he's not. He's Ted. I don't know who the fuck Ted is. Never mind. He's the monkey. Yeah. Speaking of the monkey, they had to switch the monkey's instrument. He used to, everyone knows the monkey playing like the big cymbals. They had to switch to him playing the drums because Disney was going to sue them because of the monkey from Toy Story 3.
Hold on a second. You cut out there for a second. Did I hear that right? They're going to sue them?
Yeah, Disney was threatening to sue this movie because the monkey used symbols like the monkey toy in Toy Story 3.
Oh my God. I feel like that's like anytime you see one of these monkey toys, it's always with symbols and stuff like that. There's no way they
just has the rights to everything.
Yeah, that's insane.
So instead, the monkey plays the drums.
I think it's going to be so good. Pre-screenings. They had like one night where they were playing it at like one theater in Pittsburgh, like a week early. It was packed, and like I kind of wanted to go see it, but I was looking to go down at the waterfront, and that's like the gigantic theater, and it was just packed. So I decided to just wait it out. Probably see it Saturday. I can't wait though. This is probably going to be like, at least for a while, my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, it has good ratings so far, 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb and a 67 on Metacritic, and that's rare for horror movies.
I was thinking the same thing, yep.
Next film here, Cleaner. Criminal activists hijacked a gala, taking 300 hostages. One extremist plans mass murder as a message to the world. An ex-soldier turned window cleaner now works to rescue the hostages. This is Daisy Ridley, who of course is known for the terrible, terrible sequels that are the Star Wars films. Not really anyone else in this film. However, the director is Martin Campbell, and he's actually had a decent run of directing movies. Casino Royale, GoldenEye. So he has 2 solid James Bond films under his belt. Edge of Darkness. Lately, not a ton here. He did sadly direct Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, but maybe we can forgive him for that one.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like it would be right up his wheelhouse if it's like kind of on the James Bond side of things.
All right, weird.
Hell yeah.
We're back, people. Texas can't handle weather under 20 degrees. And so anytime that happens, I guess the internet flips out as well as the people. Nobody knows how to drive. It's pretty pathetic. Texas talks a lot of shit about how they're rough and tough. They're not. It's a lie.
The freaking power grid's going down.
We got our own power grid to not be dependent. And then yeah, we see how that turns out. Anyways, Cleaner, Martin Campbell, James Bond director. Hopefully that ends up okay.
Seems like such a wild choice to cast Daisy Ridley in something like this.
I don't know, man. Has she been in anything lately?
I'm gonna check that right now. I don't think so. I feel like the last thing I remember seeing her in was that movie with her and Tom Hall, and they just walked around and she thoughts or something like, or hear his thoughts or something like that.
Right.
Let's see what she was in last.
Yeah,
So
I think
she's
she
been in
shit
a
the bed
she
and
narrated something. We Bury the Dead. She's been in a bunch of just random stuff.
Yeah.
So Chaos Walking is the one that I'm thinking of. That was 2021. Since then, she's been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? 10 movies? I've never heard of a single one of them.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
She's done. She's done. She had her peak.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't do like the Ray spin-offs or whatever they're talking about having her and she's cooked, I think. But I mean, I hope not. She seems like a nice gal, but I don't know how great of an actress she is.
Exactly.
They gave her a good haircut for this movie.
Is that a thing? Like when actresses start to kind of drop out, they're like, all right, short haircut. I'm a badass now. Try to reinvent myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's gotta be. Is that Kayla Harrison in this?
Who?
Kayla Harrison, like the UFC fighter? Am I like tripping?
Dude, that'd be
chick with the blonde hair.
Actually,
kind of looks like her.
Let's
No, I don't
see.
think so. But like,
It is not.
maybe. Okay.
That
I
would
was gonna be
really
so
funny.
confused if she was in this. Like, what the fuck? That's the most random casting of all time.
Just huge.
Yeah, she should play. No, never mind.
No. Speaking of poor acting, Zachary Levi is in The Unbreakable Boy. He is not good. This movie, I'm assuming, is about autism. Yeah, look at that. It's about autism. A young boy with both a rare brittle bone disease and autism. Double whammy. But what makes him truly unique is his joyous, funny, life-affirming worldview that transforms and unites everyone around him. So I don't know. They're going to try to make it a feel-good story. It's probably going to be super sad, and then it's going to be happy. He makes friends, and that's exactly what it's going to be.
Are we even allowed to shit on this movie? Because I think it's going to be fucking terrible. But like, I mean, we're just going to be called assholes.
Listen, I don't blame the kid. Kid's probably a rock star. He's probably actually a better actor than Zachary Levi.
For sure. They shouldn't have casted Zachary Levi in this movie because everybody's going to shit on him. And in turn, the movie cast somebody that's a little bit more likable and like, I don't know, better at acting.
I don't feel great about this movie. There's a reason that the ratings are turned off, even though it has been out for a little bit here. It's weird how IMDb picks and chooses what movies are allowed to have early ratings and what ones aren't.
Yeah, I know. It's like a lot of it's review embargo too, because like sometimes if they know a movie's going to get decent reviews, they'll let the review embargo go a couple days early. This one, it comes out tomorrow and nothing yet so far. So that's not a good sign ever.
Zachary Levi.
He's like the breakable boy.
He's been very broken.
Because I'm pretty sure like he like flipped out at once everybody was shitting on for one of his movies before.
Was it the Kurt Warner movie that everyone's like,
yeah, I think so.
2 more films here. This one, Ex-Husbands. That doesn't sound great. It actually looks like it originally came out 2 years ago in 2023, but is actually getting a theater release tomorrow. When Peter Pierce, why is his name going to be Peter Pierce? It's just hard to say. When Peter Pierce flies a Tulum, crashing his son Nick's bachelor party, Peter realizes he's not the only Pierce man in crisis. I guess this is going to try to be a comedy. I don't know a single person in this movie. I think we can move on unless this director has done anything. He hasn't. Perfect. So that's coming out, I guess, for some reason. No one cares. Next one here. This seems to be a documentary, actually. Beth Lane writes, directs, and she's the only one casted in this. She's the daughter of a Holocaust survivor, and the questions she asks herself all the time are, would I be here if my mother hadn't been hidden? And who else helped my mother and her siblings survive? So she goes back, travels, and tries to get that information, revisiting the places where the Holocaust took place, trying to figure out who helped her be allowed to be born, I guess. Kind of interesting story. I wonder if, usually stuff like this does get an Oscar nod. So it might be an early nomination year that they're going for.
Yeah, especially in documentary. I feel like these are pretty, I don't know how they go under the radar or something. I don't know. They get a lot of attention. Never mind. They get a lot of attention whenever it comes to Oscars, whenever they have a deep subject matter like this.
Yep. I lied. I have one more movie. No, I doubt I'll watch it. That's an airplane movie.
Yeah, for sure.
I did have one more movie, I Heart Willie. Ty, I know how you love your Winnie the Pooh, Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie horror films, and we have I Heart Willie. An obsessed psychopath unknowingly leads her friends into a deadly mousetrap where pure evil seeks to harvest their skin in this horrific origin story of the most beloved cartoon character of modern times. Mickey's jacked. He's ripped.
Absolutely ripped. He looks like a UFC fighter. And I think I sent you this a couple weeks ago just because the tagline is so ridiculous. It just says, it started with a mouse boy.
It did. It's true.
I wonder if this is showing anywhere. I'm going to try to look it up and see if this is showing anywhere near here. Of course, of no relation to the Poonaverse. I think the next scheduled release in the Poonaverse is still Bambi, unless there's something else. I think it's Bambi the Reckoning still, but I could be wrong. Let me see if I can find an I Heart Willie showing.
It's wild that one I sent you that they use the exact same Winnie the Pooh mask, and it's not even related.
No, that's insane to me. I don't know how they can make that work. It looks like they probably honestly just took the mask from the first one. They probably were like, here, you guys can use this one since we got like an upgrade. And then next is fine.
Hey, that's nice of them. Ty, that's really all we got here.
Wow, there is a showing of I Heart Willie. One single showing, the 26th at 7:30. Let's see if any seats are taken yet.
It's full.
It's at the waterfront, so it's the big theater, but it's probably not in the biggest auditorium. It's probably in a small auditorium. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's probably damn near 20 seats already bought. These cult corny horror movies have a good following. Especially if they're just one night releases. Every time I've went to a Poonaverse movie, they're full.
Yeah.
So
see it now or never see it.
Yeah, good for them. This is gonna be complete dog shit trash. But wait, did we talk how it has a 7.5 on IMDb?
No, I didn't say that. Mostly, that's only out of 20 ratings.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that's got to be all this cast and crew just fucking. Yeah, because it's 10 reviews, and then a bunch of ones. So with a couple other odd numbers thrown in there. I wish there was written down reviews. It's just, it's all from Mexico too. It's either from Mexico or
interesting.
Whoa, there's 6 10-star reviews from Mexico, one 1-star review from Mexico, and then in the U.S. there's 3 10 stars, 3 1 stars. This is crazy. And I'm looking at Did you look at any of the pictures of
Yeah,
it just looks like he's got melty looking skin and just a shitty looking fucking Mickey Mouse mask on.
That's the other thing. The mask looks nothing like the movie poster mask.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah,
I think that's probably AI on the movie poster for sure.
Right.
That's definitely AI.
That's what they're doing. They can't be nominated for an Oscar anymore now.
I wonder if this is a Mexican film.
Alejandro G. Algray is the director, so...
That's what I'm thinking. I wonder if it's in English. If
it is country of origin, Mexico.
Okay, so it is in Spanish. I'm not going to see it. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. It's just going to be broken English.
Or none. I think what Mickey Mouse has is broken English anyways. Just
yeah. If he does that, I swear to God, I'll shit my pants. I don't know if I'm going to see this one, but I might have to make an attempt.
He needs to do that every time he swings the axe. Just...
This is a great one. You know how we always talk about the film selection or the Film Fest selection stickers on posters? This one has a Morbido Film Fest 2024 official selection. So
there you go.
No idea. Maybe some kind of Mexican horror film festival.
What is this Best Director Gold Award?
They just made this shit up.
Actor and Director Award, New York.
This guy that plays Willie, his name is David Vaughn. He's been in a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Oh, I feel like I've heard of that show.
He's the writer too. He plays Mickey.
That David Vaughn?
Yeah, he's the writer.
Huh.
He just wanted to write himself into playing Mickey Mouse.
He just wanted to be like half shirtless with the fucking mask on, I guess.
He's like, yeah, I got totally ripped. I just need to write a movie to show this off.
Some of these movies I've actually heard of. He's been in, like The Color Purple. I didn't watch it, but I heard of it. I think it got some like kind of hype or whatever. But he was a postman in the movie. American Rust. Why did I feel like I heard of that? Does that feel like Greg Daniels in it or something, or Jeff Daniels in it or something? It does. Okay, it's so random. He's just been in the most obscure movies of all time.
He's in multiple Resident Evil games. So this dude might actually rule, but he just kind of wants to make a shitty movie.
Okay, good for him. Seems like he knows his. It seems like he knows his play.
Yeah, live your life.
Mostly in the background in this one, he's like, "Fuck it, I'll be Willie."
Yeah, no one else wanted it.
I'll be the mouse boy.
February horror films. Those are the best ones.
Right. I'll talk about one after a bit though. It's a February horror film. Not bad.
Okay. All right.
But that leads me into
movies here. Yeah.
I was gonna say that'll lead me into the few little pieces of news I have here. Really not a ton, and I've been taking down every piece of news. I do it in between each pod. Anything that seems interesting, I take it down. I scoured the internet to find shit for today, and this is what I got. I got 3 bits of news here. So the first one is we're getting a Norm Macdonald documentary here. It works at Netflix, and Judd Apatow is going to direct. So that's cool. Apparently on Instagram, he asked people for photos and videos of Norm for a documentary he's creating for Netflix. Whenever Norm died, Apatow wrote on social media that nobody was funnier than Norm Macdonald. Every time he was on television, he was the funniest person on television. So I guess this is his ode to him. Apparently, Judd Apatow also directed documentaries on other comedians. I don't know who Gary Shandling is, and George Carlin. And apparently both of them won Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Documentaries. So that's cool. I think he'll probably do Norm justice. And I'm excited for this because I love Norm. He's hilarious. Second bit of news here. You might have heard of this. So it's a Chinese animated blockbuster called Nezha 2. And it's just completely killing the Chinese box office. It just recently overtook Pixar's Inside Out 2 to become the highest grossing animated film globally. It's amassed a total box office of 12.3 billion yuan or yen or whatever, which equals 1.6 billion US dollars by itself only in mainland China. So it's just absolutely insane. It hasn't even, I don't think it's been released in the US yet. I don't know if it's even going to be, but that's already a $1.69 billion movie in February. It's like mind blowing. But apparently it's a sequel to a 2019 movie, I guess just Nezha 1 or whatever. But apparently the film is based on a 16th century Chinese novel called this is wild. Investiture of the Gods, depicting a hero boy with magic power who tried to defend, my God, Chen Tagawan, a fortress town. So yeah, apparently just absolutely crushing it in China. I read a post on Reddit earlier, and somebody was talking about their English teacher over there, and they said a kid was bragging about seeing the movie 7 times. So apparently it just caught on and everybody saw it. I don't think there's ever been a movie similar to that in America where every single person goes and sees it several times and it makes $1 billion just in the US.
It's like Avengers.
Right. And even that, a lot of its money came from overseas because it was like just such a, that's what this article said. It's like such a contrast to what Hollywood films do because they rely on a more global distribution. This is all just mainland China. It's nuts.
Their story.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of an anime guy. This might rule.
Yeah, I'm looking at the first one. I actually just added it to my list. It's on the Roku channel. So it's free to stream. I might give it a go.
Let me see what these ratings I'm not worried about it. It's apparently really good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's like an 8.3.
Yeah, that's insane. 99% critics or audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if I've ever seen that. 99% of people thought it was great. Absolutely wild. And then my last little bit of news here is, did you ever play the Just
Oh,
Cause
yes.
games?
Barely. Just wasn't my thing.
Same. I never even dabbled. I don't even think I ever played one, but we're getting a movie adaptation of it. Rabin, I guess is his name, is set to write for Universal Pictures. The director of Blue Beetle, I think it's Angel Manuel Soto is going to direct. So I mean, that's like a decent enough director for this movie. I feel like because Blue Beetle got pretty decent reviews. I just never saw it. But apparently, also the producers of action films The Fall Guy, Bullet Train, Nobody, and Violent Night are also going to produce. So that's like a solid cast of directors
Yeah.
and producers are behind this. So if they do justice, this could be pretty cool. Also, the team behind Tomb Raider, the newest one, and the one coming out sometime in the near future, and Sonic the Hedgehog are also going to be producing. So a lot of people behind this one, but apparently, yeah, they're going to do a Just Cause game or a movie, and I guess it's going to follow an operative. I get just kind of like the game. Rico Rodriguez is his name. In a covert agency sent to destabilize and overthrow oppressive regimes. So
Yeah.
I guess it's known for its wide open sandbox environments and over the top action and humor. So
Yeah, I
mean,
know people put you can get rockets and strap them to whatever the hell you want and just make people flip out and go
yeah, I
flying.
mean,
It's
all kinds of clips.
insane, dude.
But I wonder if they'll be able to do it justice. I mean, that sounds kind of interesting. At first, when I first saw this, I was like, who really cares? But after seeing everybody that's attached, I'm kind of curious now. And that is quite literally it for news. That was it.
Perfect. And it's limited episode here. We're working with what we got, people. We're trying.
Yeah.
Speaking of trying, You're Cordially Invited is a film I saw on Prime Video. I'll be honest, Will Ferrell hasn't been in anything funny in quite a while.
No, it's bad.
Which is really sad because he had the run of all time for comedy films. Just did not miss. And then I think it was was it the Holmes and Watson movie? I think that was the breaking point.
Oh,
After
yeah.
that, everything was garbage.
Even on SNL 50, which I watched the other day, which is actually pretty funny, his skits were all nothing really did it for me.
Yeah, wasn't really there. We actually just watched that too. We
It was so funny. Some of it was so good.
Thing.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the music thing. I did see Post Malone and Nirvana play though, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah, Will Ferrell's joined by Reese Witherspoon in this movie. It basically two people. A father books a place for his daughter to get married, and then a sister books a place for her sister to get married. The lady who took the booking for Will Ferrell died while writing down his entry. And so caused the date to be double booked. They tried to make it work out. It of course causes chaos. They try to sabotage each other's weddings. Don't get me wrong, there are some silly bits that are pretty funny. He fights the alligator randomly, which was the best part of the entire film. Jimmy Tatro's in it, and
I was gonna say I just saw Jimmy Tatra. That's cool.
Yeah, he's not really funny in it. He's the most serious character out of everyone. It didn't make any sense.
That's wild. That seems like they miscast him then, because he's supposed to be the silly douche goofball.
Exactly, and he was pretty serious. The only time he wasn't serious was when Peyton Manning randomly showed up, and he went to talk to him at all fanboy. That was really it. Yeah, Peyton Manning's in it for 2 minutes, but it's okay. You get laughs here and there. I was very happy throughout the movie. I'm just going to spoil it because it's comedy and it's very obvious it was going to happen. But 98% of the movie, Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon do not fall in love. And I'm like, okay, so that would annoy me because that's usually what happens in these movies that, we hate each other. I hate you. And then they fall in love. And I'm like, okay, cool. They didn't do that route like everyone else does. Cool. Literally the last 10, 15 minutes, they make them forcefully fall in love. And I'm like, all right, that's stupid. So that bit was annoying. It felt way longer than it is. It's not even 2 hours. There are definitely parts that drag. No one else is really funny. They kind of force feed a lot of jokes down your throat that don't land. And they keep doing it. I think Nick Jonas is also randomly in it. Is it Nick Jonas, Joe Jonas? One of them. One of the Jonas brothers is also randomly in it. So they try to get away with having these bigger names steal the show. Doesn't work. So I ended up a 4 out of 10. It wasn't the worst movie. It's something to throw on in the background. but definitely not something I'm going to sit down and watch again.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. It's at least a 4 and at least something to throw in the background. Because, I mean, from the looks of it, just sounds and looks like shit. But maybe it'll be like funny enough that, worth a one-timer.
Yeah.
Worth a
Sit down
one-timer.
with the lady and just hang out.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm looking now. It's got a 5.5 IMDb, so that's really not too far off from some of like the better movies we've seen that have gotten reviewed lately. So, I mean, it sounds like it's better than some of these movies that we've seen come straight to Amazon or Netflix.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Amazon has a lot of crap.
How would you stack it up with some of his other like newer movies? Like, I don't know. Let me see. Well, let me see one he's been in where he's acted. How would it stack up to like? Damn it, where's it at? I can't even find what he's been in lately. It's been I guess he was in Barbie.
Been a while.
Obviously, Barbie's been good. This is what I'm talking about. I was talking about bad Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, better than that.
Okay, that's good.
Better than that. I'm scrolling. Man, I am scrolling very far. Dude, he hasn't been in shit. He'll
That's
just
crazy.
randomly be.
A lot of late night, a lot of like producing and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of voice
Strays?
acting. He's in Strays. Was it better than
Yes.
Strays?
Probably not, just because I like dogs.
Yeah,
and I
right.
enjoyed that more simply that reason. I have those both rated the same, actually. Both of them are 4s.
Oh, okay, that's a good benchmark then. It's about as good as the dog movie.
Exactly. Yeah, he's just not himself anymore. I don't know what changed.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got your film here. It is probably the first horror movie of the year. Hard Eyes.
Let's see. Well, technically, I guess like Peter Pan would have been.
Did see that? I forgot.
Technically, Wolfman too. Wolfman was shit though.
Yeah.
Peter Pan was pretty shit. Companion, like more thriller than horror, so I guess not. And Presence they marketed it like it was a horror, but it was actually not. So this is okay. I'll put it. This is the best horror of the year.
Okay.
Probably actually the best movie of the year so far, I think, too, which is actually kind of crazy. I've only seen 6, but yeah, this is the highest on the list so far. But I didn't have many expectations going into it, and if I did have any, they were low because I probably only saw like a trailer or two. And I think I saw it right on the days reviews started coming in. Let's say it came out a little bit before. I don't remember, but I'm glad I made it a point to go and get there and see this one because it was definitely enjoyable in the theater. I did want it to be similar to Thanksgiving, that even though it was just based on a holiday and it's like a horror movie, didn't want it to just be like corny and dumb. Thanksgiving was a surprise how much I liked it, and this one's pretty much the same way. This one has good reviews all around. It's got an 81% certified fresh critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, 78 audience score, and 6.6 on IMDb. Directed by Josh Rubin, who sounded familiar, but I have no idea. Nothing he's done. I think he's done one is werewolves within, or something like that. It sounded familiar, and I don't think I watched it, but I think it has Sam Richards, who's hilarious, Detroiters, all that.
Yeah.
But let me see if that's what that movie's called. It's going to drive me crazy. Within, yep, that's it. Get too distracted. This one's starring Olivia Holt, who hasn't really been in a whole bunch, and at first I wasn't really in love with her performance, but she kind of grew on me a little bit. It's also starring Mason Gooding, who I think we talked about this at length. I've hated in the new Scream movies, but he pleasantly surprised me in this one, and he was growing on me too. He was actually pretty enjoyable in this movie. But the most unexpected and out of left field casting of all, Jordana Brewster, aka Mia Toretto from the Fast and Furious. Have not seen her in quite a bit of stuff at all. But it goes like this. For the past several years, the Hard Eyes Killer has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day by stalking and murdering romantic couples. This Valentine's Day, no one is safe. I mean, from that, you think it kind of sounds corny, but it really wasn't too bad. I love that it didn't waste any time getting started, like some horror movies do. It starts pretty violently off the rip, and it has a classic slasher vibe to it, which most modern horrors don't really nail that, but this one did. One of the first big kills, someone gets like squished in like some kind of, it's at a winery or a vineyard, I think it's some kind of ape smasher or something like that, but there's some really good practical effects for that too, which kind of took me for a loop there. I was kind of surprised, so that was cool. These movies with a masked killer just always keep you engaged because it keeps you guessing the whole time. So they have that going for them every time. And I wasn't able to guess. They outsmarted me, but they kept me guessing till the end. So that was cool too. There are some funny bits in the movie though. Like the main girl always keeps a metal straw on her because she's one of those people. She doesn't use plastic straws, but you just knew it was going to come into play at some point in the movie, and it does. And there's also another bit where Jordana Brewster, the lady from Fast and Furious, her last name in the movie is Shaw, and her partner is named Hobbs. So there's a meta Hobbs reference. Like, so it's like, it's kind of like Scream in that aspect too, where they kind of get meta with it. But the good scenes definitely outweigh the boring. Like I said, there's some cool scenes where they're on like a merry-go-round in the big park, like getting chased by the killer. Whenever they're in a police station and they're at a drive-in movie theater, it's pretty funny too. It definitely subverted my expectations. A few times I thought I knew what was going to happen and ended up being wrong, which is always nice. Super quick hour and 37-minute runtime.
Perfect.
It's got a good, I mean, that might be the perfect runtime. It did get a nice variety of horror with some comedy and like some romance in it for the holiday, Valentine's Day. But like I said, so far it's my favorite movie of the year. Definitely think it's well worth a watch. And I'm not sure if I liked it quite as much as Thanksgiving. I probably have to rewatch Thanksgiving, but I went 7.3 on it. Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad at all. Quite surprised.
Very nice. Yeah, I saw a trailer and everything. Well, yeah, it looks interesting enough. We're just kind of hitting all the holidays now for horror films.
Right.
So
And that's exactly what I thought. I was like, okay, corny. Because they've done it before with like the My Bloody Valentine.
Right. Yeah, I remember that film was like a big thing because it was 3D.
Yeah, and it was filmed in the mine over by the Mills Mall.
Okay, that's why it was so popular.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should definitely check this one out. I'm sure it probably will be streaming pretty soon.
Yeah, as soon as it's out there, I'm going to give that a go. We just talked about Brutalist, Companion, Dogman, Last Showgirl. Something else. Just Flight Risk. I don't know if I'll touch that one. Is Companion out there? Companion, yes. They're all out there streaming now, so I'm gonna get a good run here this week.
Oh hell yeah. The Brutalist, so you might have to save for a day where you got the time.
Yeah, I got
At least you'll be able to fast forward through the intermission. You don't have to just sit there for 15 minutes, but
that's true.
It's such a good movie though.
Awesome. Cool. Next film I saw here, Apple TV Plus, The Gorge. This movie deserves one of our awards already out of the box.
Wow.
For almost the biggest disappointment, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense right now. It will as I keep talking. This movie was awesome. And that's why it's confusing that I say it was the biggest disappointment. They fucked it up so bad.
Oh no.
But when it was good, it was so cool. It was exciting. It was heart pounding. But by God, the romance and the writing, the dialogue for the romance scenes hurt my bones. It was so bad. Like, you could remove 20, 30 minutes of this movie, get rid of all this romance bullshit, and I would have rated this probably an 8 out of a 10. Like, wow. It was so cool, interesting concept. So just basically what the concept is, 2 highly trained snipers, they get recruited to watch over this gorge. It is a massive gorge. Mm-hmm. They're each in a tower on both sides of the gorge. And all they're told is keep what's down there from coming out. That's all they're told. They're like, all right, the fuck's that mean? And then like eventually you do see what's in there and it's sick. And this would make a fantastic video game as well. It's kind of like COD Zombies, but like they have turrets set up. There's kind of like a survival element to it where they're growing their own food and stuff. So it was super cool in that way. All the action is top notch. Then they realize that, oh, hey, you're across there. They look at each other with binoculars and write notes to each other. And it's just lame. They do. I mean, this isn't a spoiler. It's right in the trailer. They do eventually meet up. He makes his way across the gorge to go meet her. And that part's so damn silly. But the action parts are so damn good. And like, I really want to hit on that because this movie is 100% worth the watch. So even though I'm rating it a 6 out of 10, it had such more potential than that. Such a cool idea. But the dialogue was stupid. Like this whole thing, like they're interviewing him for this job. Sigourney Weaver is in the movie for like 5 minutes and she's interviewing him and she's like, why don't you have a girlfriend or a wife or anything? He's like, love just never works out for me. And he falls in love immediately. I'm like,
Jeez, oh, man.
you. So again, outside all of the romance nonsense, the action was so damn cool. It
That's
is really
awesome.
neat. Definitely worth a watch.
I'm making time for this one. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this weekend, I think, or try to at least. Maybe sometime Saturday too. Definitely want to see this one. I texted you and I was like, this movie's getting sick reviews. I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah.
I just haven't got a chance to watch it yet. That does suck that whenever stuff like that brings a movie down, that's good.
It's crazy because like the little interactions between them early on, I'm like, oh, that's funny, that's nice. You know, you're completely alone in this place. It's nice to know there's someone else here.
Mm.
They rock out to some music, so great. Also, great soundtrack. So they like
Oh,
have a little dance party across the gorge and everything. But that part, that's all fine. It was when they get the corny, lovey-dovey nonsense, and I'm like, okay, you
yeah,
guys literally just met.
yeah.
Stop it. Also, you're highly trained murderers. They talk about how many confirmed kills he has, and it's like hundreds. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fall in love immediately. I'm like, shut the hell up. Fight these things.
Oh man.
Yeah. Give it a watch. Yeah, I think you'll really like it.
Let me get sequel tease at the end.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, that's good.
Uh,
That's always nice whenever they're not just setting something up to be
Yeah.
people bait.
I mean, they could always pull some bullshit, but the way it kind of ends, it's like, all right, we tied the loose ends. We're good.
Well, speaking of loose ends, that'll segue us to our last movie because that's pretty much what this Captain America movie did was tie up a couple of loose ends from Marvel here. I think we knew going into this one exactly what it was going to be, and we weren't really far off. Reviews have been a mixed bag, to say the least. 49% critic approval rating and 80% audience approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Directed by a guy named Julius Onah, who I've never heard of at all, but it turns out he directed the really bad Cloverfield movie, The Cloverfield Paradox, the one that dropped like right after the Super Bowl. Damn, I had such high hopes for that 'cause I'm a Cloverfield guy. Like, love the first one. Cloverfield Lane's freaking sweet. Like, back in the day, I would just look up all the shit about Cloverfield. I was like, what's going on with Cloverfield? Like, there would just be all these theories and shit.
Yeah.
And then,
Really big into like huge ass monster type shit.
yeah. Hell
Like,
yeah.
that's cool.
I really want to rewatch that now. It's been so long, but I love that fucking movie. I think I have it. And also, he did an Avicii music video, so very random. And I think he might have done like one or two other like feature length films, but a lot of shorts and stuff like that. Which just, how do you get a Marvel movie? Like, how did he end up directing this movie? Is all I can ask myself.
Well, have you seen the first movie he directed?
Which one was it?
I can't say it.
Let me check. Let me see. This is going to be really funny. Oh my god! Yeah, I did not go down far enough. If only I would have clicked that earlier.
Yeah, short story.
I can't say that one, but that is really wild. Really, how did they let him? How did he end up with a Marvel movie?
Well, he has the. He's allowed.
Right. Yeah, definitely. You're right. You're not far off. You're not far off from that at all. But there was just a lot in this movie that already like going into it, you hear stuff that kind of sucks. So you just know it's not going to be good. Like first the name change. It was New World Order, and now it's Brave New World, which, I mean, Brave New World's not terrible, but New World Order is way better. And then you hear about how apparently a bunch of big scenes were cut from the film after bad initial test screenings and then the extensive reshoots. That's never a good sign. So this one has Anthony Mackie fully as Captain America now. Harrison Ford, who actually plays Thunderbolt Ross or whatever, because the guy that originally was supposed to play him and played him in the original Hulk movie died, I guess. So he got recast.
Was replaced. I didn't know why.
Yeah, I guess that guy died. Giancarlo Esposito, and just a completely just one-off mercenary, like beat-off character. Tim Blake Nelson plays Samuel Stearns, aka the leader, which is kind of wild. He looks wild. You have to look him up. I'm sure there's probably a picture online of how he looks. Just pretty much like looks like he got gamma rayed in his brain, and so it's wild. And then Danny Ramirez is the new Falcon. But basically, Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. So like I was telling you, I think I'm going to say right off the bat, I think they fucked themselves by revealing the Red Hulk in the trailer. I think they do that too much lately. I think it would have been a better moment if we didn't see it until we were in our seats at the movie. And he's also in the movie for 15 minutes. Sorry to spoil that, but he's not really in the movie the whole time. It really is a grounded Marvel, like they said. Like, it kind of just reminds me, I know we say this a lot, a TNT action movie. He's pretty much just kind of, like, he's kind of trying to stop like they said, like the global incident. Like, so let me get into this first. So they're finally mentioning and tying up 10 from a gigantic celestial in Earth, like frozen in the earth, and that's how we get adamantium in the MCU. So essentially, the plot of the movie is someone steals adamantium, which leads Japan and America fighting over the adamantium and some other shit along the way, and then Captain America saves like war from breaking out pretty much because of that.
Okay.
But can't remember where I was going with all that before that. But connect to the original Hulk movie. It's got some corny ass dialogue and some really bad delivery from all the actors at some point. A lot of overdone like cliches like hacking and mind control and just like generic names like the buyer. Oh, the buyer of the adamantium. Like they just keep saying the buyer, the buyer. It's like, oh my God, hate that. So annoying. But that's why it feels like a basic TNT action movie because it's grounded and it's just like this just like run at the mill action movie for a little bit until like the last probably 30 minutes or so whenever he's flying around trying to stop jets from fighting and whatever, and then Harrison Ford gets pissed off enough that he becomes fucking Red Hulk and he has to fight him. So but yeah, all the scenes that the Red Hulk's in are really good. He's only in it for about 15 minutes. But yeah, it wasn't like completely god awful like I thought it was going to be. It's just certainly not like a return to the top for Marvel. Like, I mean, I don't think anybody thought it was going to be, but I think it's projected like break even right now. I don't think it's going to even make its money back. It had a pretty small budget, I think, but the reviews on this one, it's just going to flop after like what I think it made like 100 million or so the first opening weekend, but I don't think it's going to be doing a lot better within the next coming weeks just because the reviews are starting to like really come out. I hope this ends a streak of mid Marvel movies until we get Fantastic Four, which is going to kick off like the next phase with the mutants and shit. But I ended up with a 6 on it. I could see myself even going lower than that. It was okay. It wasn't the worst. It might have been the worst. It wasn't like the worst movie I've ever seen. It's definitely bottom of the barrel for Marvel, but it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen.
Gotcha. All right. Is it worth my time?
Yeah, it's like one of those ones you could throw on, I think. It's nothing special for sure, but I mean, like I said, it's interesting enough, like with the whole like the mind control stuff, and then you see the leader and stuff, and they're trying to do too much at once. But I mean, it's still just like decent enough action that you're like, okay, sure, I'll watch Harrison Ford turn into the Red Hulk, sure.
Yeah, you're right. They immediately show that he's going to become Red Hulk. It's on the poster, and so that's all people are excited for.
Right.
And
you think that's going to be him fighting him the whole fucking movie, practically.
Yeah.
It's not the case. Fights him for 10 minutes.
Yeah, movies really shoot themselves in the foot when they kind of spoil what's going to happen in the movie with the trailer. Trailers used to be just, okay, let's get hype.
30-second long trailers back in the day, like just a voiceover
info.
Yeah, that's how they should be. Trailers for now are just way too long.
Yeah,
they show
2-minute trailer. They're telling you everything.
Yeah, and this one, like the IMAX trailer poster or the IMAX poster, is just him and Red Hulk facing off. That leads you to believe like they're going to be fighting the entire fucking. No, it's just not the case. Nope. Also, Harrison Ford, whenever he changes, like he's got completely white hair. He's an old fucker. He gets like black hair. And that was just stupid. That's not a big deal, but it kind of pissed me off. I was like, why does he have black hair? I definitely thought he was going to rip out of his pants too, but his pants just got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that never made sense, right? It's like, my pants also grow.
He'd bust right out of them motherfuckers. I do like Tim Blake Nelson. I just think he was kind of just like, his character wasn't that much to him, the leader, whatever. They don't even call him leader. He's just Samuel Stearns. He's a pretty smart guy or whatever. Just kind of just talks. He's like, hey, dude, like, I know what you're doing over there. It's nothing special. And then Giancarlo Esposito, he's just like the most run-of-the-mill mercenary bad dude.
He plays himself in everything. That's his problem too.
Pretty much, yeah. He didn't have to be like in this movie at all. I think he'd have been fine if not. You could have used anybody.
We have Gus Fring playing Gus Fring.
Pretty much, yep.
All right, type that.
26 episodes of Breaking Bad. That's kind of wild.
There's many episodes, right? I think there's only 60.
I guess that makes sense then.
Is that true? There's
something like that.
5 seasons. How many? 62.
Okay, so he's
So,
over a third
yeah,
then.
I think it's like
Makes
third
sense.
season he pops up, something like that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like, oh, only 26 episodes, and you're like, oh wait, I guess there's only 60. So
That's how you know it's good. He's just so memorable. It's like you can't think of the show without him.
no, not at all.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like Always Sunny with Danny DeVito. He wasn't always there.
No, that's what's crazy.
Yeah. That'll do it for this show. I think we did end up, like we said, around the same time.
We usually do, yeah. Just start
Usually do.
yapping.
Started at 8 o'clock. We also had those 8 minutes before it fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna hit right about an hour. So go us. Look at that.
Sweet.
But we'll do it again. We got a few much better movies coming out. It seems.
Hell yeah.
The
So
Monkey
what is after the monkey? Is there anything directly after the monkey
directly
besides
after?
I Heart Willie?
Let's find out real quick. I Heart Willie, Last Breath, which I do have marked that I want to see it. Who we got here? Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, True Story. That falls to... Yes, I saw this documentary. It's insane. Okay.
Oh.
I am excited for this. So True Story. These dudes are like deep sea divers. They take like this I don't even want to call it a submarine. There's like a little pod at the very bottom of the ocean. And
Yeah,
one
I think
dude
you told me about this or something.
nuts.
Yeah.
So like he's on a rope, basically.
And
It's
he ends
obviously
up getting like dragged around or something, doesn't he?
he gets dragged, he loses connection, which is his oxygen. And they're like, he has 30 minutes of oxygen and they have to go save him. It's nuts. Yeah, complete true story. And the documentary, it's all real footage. Like he was wearing a camera. So you can like see him get fucked up. Yeah, crazy.
This one I'm looking at here called Vicious. It's got Dakota Fanning in it. Don't know anything about it. She's been in a lot of like random stuff lately. I feel like woman spends her night fighting for her existence as she slips down a rabbit hole contained inside a gift from a late night visitor. Huh. Sounds like 30% Rotten Tomato score.
Well, 2 weeks we get Mickey 17. That's what matters.
Can't wait. So we'll definitely do one for the monkey, and then we'll do another one for Mickey 17 for sure. Can't wait for that movie.
There was a time when... Is that true, Ty? You know wrestling. Was there a time when pro wrestling for women was illegal?
Dude, I have no idea. I feel like, oh shit. I feel like now it is
That sounds made up. Yeah.
because they do like so, and they just make them like, because chicks in wrestling always like wrestling like their tits are out and like they're freaking naked practically. But like over in Saudi Arabia, they have to like wear like full like body suits and stuff. It's kind of wild. Are you looking at Queen of the Ring?
Yeah, I was like, is that a real thing, or is this like a different timeline type shit?
Sounds interesting. 2024 movie? What the fuck? IMDb's just bad with that.
Dude,
That was a lot of stuff, actually.
Horrible. Yeah. I don't know why. They don't need to be. They're owned by Amazon. You have the power
The resources.
to do it correctly. Yeah.
So obnoxious.
So I will wrap it up here, and the monkey next time.
I was going to try to do a monkey noise, but I'm not going to do that.
Wait, I think there's definitely, hold up. I gotta end this right. Hold up. They don't have a monkey sound. I'm sad now. There's a quack.
That'll do it.
All right. Thank you. All right. We'll see everybody.